One of the purposes of this channel and one of the reasons that I do this is I like to know the hows and whys. Why is it that we hold our shears a certain way? Why is it that a certain product works a certain way? Why do we hold the hair this way? Why do we use this hair color formula? I love to know all these hows and whys, and I hope to share them with you. So I'm going to share some of the hows and whys behind the way that I hold my shears and hopefully help you out no matter where you're at in your experience level. First things first, what are hair cutting shears? These are hair cutting shears. They have a pinky rest. They have a finger hole for your stationary blade. They also have a moving blade with a thumb hole, and then the hinge. They come in right-handed and left-handed. Just make sure you're using the right ones. When my daughter was about 5, she went and found her school scissors and cut her own bangs. You know, they look something kind of like this. She came out, it was obvious that she had her hair cut, but the thing is, she actually did kind of a good job. What do I say? How do I tell her not to do that again? Everybody gets lucky every once in a while. The trick was, I said, look at these hair cutting shears. How do they look different from your school shears you cut your hair with? And she pointed out the pinky rest. She said they were like skinnier. I said, that's right. Do you have some of these? No. I said, well, unless you have some of these, you really shouldn't be cutting your own hair. And she got it. She was like, okay. She never cut her hair again, yet. But what's the difference? Why can't I cut my hair with these shears as opposed to these? Well, not only are these made with much better steel, they're ground at a different angle, and they're much more precision put together, as opposed to, say, some sewing scissors that are gonna be made out of cheaper steel. Often when you turn them this way, you can see that the blades are slightly curved and that there's an air gap in between them. They get tension a different way. They are sharpened on a shallower angle, which means they're duller to begin with. Our hair is very much, well, your hair is very much like fabric. I remember my mom getting really angry at us kids for using her good sewing scissors on various projects. Because if you use dull scissors on your fabric, then you're gonna tear the fabric. You're not gonna get a clean or accurate cut. It's the same thing with your hair cutting shears versus any other shear. Harder steel is gonna stay sharp longer, finer edge. They're more precision designed to fit in with one another. You're gonna get a longer lasting cut with less split ends if you use something that's sharp, because the split end is just your hair basically wearing out and fraying like the bottom of a pair of blue jeans. And if I can get a clean cut on the ends of your hair with a nice, sharp, well-maintained pair of scissors, that haircut's gonna last a lot longer than maybe something that was cut with dull scissors. Not to mention, have you ever tried to use a pair of these scissors for like 10 minutes straight? They are awful. They're terrible. These are designed to be used for very long term, be held very comfortably. They're very light. Make sure that you are using properly maintained shears with all the proper pieces. So how do we get the most out of our hair cutting shears and make sure that we're holding them properly? First off, a lot of shears come with a little ring to make it fit tighter on your finger. The last thing we want is for these shears to be locked into place. It may feel comfortable when you're holding them, but it isn't going to be comfortable when you need to get different angles. If my elbow's above my shoulders, I'm in a bad place. That's gonna open me up for back pain, hip pain, neck pain, repetitive motion injuries. I need my shears to be flexible and to move freely in my hands. So first things first, I get rid of these guys. Second, I'm gonna come a little closer. So let's start with the ring finger. This is not a ring. It does not go way up on your ring finger. It's gonna need to go just past your first knuckle. Pinky on the pinky rest, and then your middle finger and pointer finger on the other side. You should have something that's secure, but also movable. If it's too tight on your ring finger, then you're not gonna be able to move these the way that you should. So you should be able to pull it back with your pointer finger, push it forward with your thumb. You need to have something that's flexible. Next, when it comes to the thumb, you do not want to jam your thumb in that hole. I did a whole video on some of the features of shears and how they encourage us not to do that. For best practices, we want our thumb to be close to parallel with the moving blade. When I'm using my thumb parallel with the moving blade, I'm pushing this way, which helps me maintain blade tension. but it also allows me to be flexible with which part of my thumb that I use. Depending on which way my shears are pointing, I could be using this edge of my thumb, I could be using the tip, or I could be using the outer edge. Because we're holding it loosely and not way up on our first joint, we're able to completely go around. So now I'm using this side of my thumb. We can go around in a circle using the tip, now using the other side. And notice how little my arm moved when I did that. When using your shears properly, there should be little to no movement from your 4 fingers of your hand. Everything comes from your thumb. This blade here should be virtually still. I get 180-degree motion with very minimal arm movement. So I'm pointing this way. That's what I mean by 180 degrees. It's very comfortable for my wrist, and I'm always able to keep my elbow below my shoulders. If your elbow is not below your shoulders, then you're opening yourself up for some injury. Now get out there and cut some hair. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you enjoy being nerdy about hair and hearing the occasional dad joke, go ahead and check out another one of my videos. If you want to see them as soon as they come out, go ahead and click subscribe. Feel free to share this video with any of your nerdy friends. I'll see you next time. Thanks.